Taxes can be difficult, so much so that many people rely on CPAs and online tools such as TurboTax in order to file them every year. Did you know that 44% of graduated high school students said that they would have liked to have taken a class explaining how to file taxes? This was reported by Ben Renner, an author on the website Study Finds in 2019. So you can imagine that this is a big issue. It can contribute to confusion and panic leading up to the US tax day on April 15th. I'm going to make sure that this isn't an issue that you also face as you potentially get your first job or something you look back on as after you complete college. Having gone through 2 tax seasons myself, personal finance and accounting classes in high school, and meeting with multiple accountants leading up to choosing my major in accounting, I'm well versed in the topic of taxes and ready to teach all of you the basics. So what are taxes? Well, taxes are a monetary debt we owe the government for them to remain operational and provide services on behalf of the citizens. I will now walk you through the basic concept of taxes, what happens to your money, and the basic principle on filing taxes. So taxes are a payment that citizens make to their government. Well, there are many different types of taxes that people pay for different reasons. In its most general form, taxes can be defined as mandatory contributions imposed on individuals or corporations by a regional, local, or national government, as stated by David Gorton, the author of an Investopedia article, Taxes Definition, Types, Who Pays, and Why, published in 2022. That same article by Gorton then goes on to list the common types of taxes as income tax, which is tax based on how much you make, payroll tax, which sounds similar to income tax, but it's withheld by your employer and paid to the government to fund things such as Social Security and Medicare. There's corporate tax, which is a tax taken from a business's profits. There's sales tax, which is a tax on transactions of goods and services. And there's property tax, which is based on the value of your land. If the government has so many sources of tax income, then how do they know if we pay it? Well, the most effective way the government makes sure we pay our taxes and enforces them is through the use of audits. In a small study of 25 Swiss cantons, there were a higher compliance to pay taxes in those which held more audits, and similar results were found by the US IRS as reported by Eric Kirkler and others in an article titled Why Pay Taxes in the Journal of International Studies program in 2007. The government also imposes fines if taxes are not paid in order to encourage people to pay them. However, this was found to be less effective unless used in conjunction with high audit rates in the same journal article Why Pay Taxes by Kirkler and others. So if we are paying all this money, then where is it going? Well, when you pay your taxes, your money goes towards keeping the government operational and upkeeping infrastructure. Tax revenue is a major part of how our government makes money. Esteban Ortiz Ospina and Max Rosner say taxation is by and large the most important source of government revenue in nearly all countries. In the article Taxation, published in the journal Our World in Data in 2016. Total tax revenues account for more than 80% of total government revenue in about half the countries in the world, and more than about 50% in every country, reported by Ospina and Rosen. Taxes are used by the government to fund their activities. Well, as written by the author David Gorton in an Investopedia article in 2022, these activities include everything from funding public works, such as roads, schools, programs like Social Security and Medicare, and so much more. In just the health sector alone during 2010, the government spent taxpayer money on building 81 new public hospitals, 2,500 health stations, repairing 721 public hospitals, 2,226 rural health units, and 9 dangerous drug rehabilitation centers. This was published in the article, in the journal NTRC by author Salve G. Marcello in the article Where Does Your Tax Money Go in 2011. So you may now be asking yourself, if taxes fund all this important stuff, how do I pay them? Well, there are only a few things that you need to report your taxes. Before you pay your taxes, you first need to know how much you owe. As an employee, you will receive your tax documents from your employer between the months of January and February, as the tax season where you report your taxes takes place from January 1st to April 15th. As reported in the video Clear Value Tax, in a video by Clear Value Tax titled How to File Your Taxes for the First Time Beginner's Guide in 2022 on YouTube. Also mentioned in this video by Clear Value Tax is that you will need your W-2 in order to show how much money you made and how much was taken out of your taxes by your employer, which you will receive in January. This is one of the many documents that you may need to file your taxes for the year, which is received by your employer. So reporting and calculating your taxes can be also outsourced to another individual. Certified public accountants are extremely trusted individuals that make their career around helping individuals file their taxes, among so many other things. Additionally, there are websites like TurboTax that exist to make filing your taxes really easy and allow you to pay your dues to the government through them. So what did we talk about today? Well, taxes are a debt imposed by the government in order to fund projects, and it has many different sources from where it's taken. Your tax money goes to many different places to support many different things, such as Social Security and Medicare, and public infrastructure. With the aid of a CPA or online tax tool, your taxes are not difficult to report and pay. So if you're interested in learning more about taxes, or more generally personal finance, I suggest that you consider joining a club here at University of Akron, such as Beta Alpha Psi or the Accounting Association. I will now accept any questions, as that is the end of the information that I have to share with you today.